have readies for both players, so we're going to get this countdown going here. Our first of 9 matches here today, as we got 5 round one, and then immediately going into round two. Players automatically get 1 championship point just for reaching the top 16 bracket, which has implications on standings for our end of year championship in December. But as we get started, both players off the blocks here in the first 10 seconds. Looking at these boards, Dmwit's got an opportunity to open things up, but you see column 3 for Dawn wide open. That's going to help him access stuff on the bottom of the board quicker.
Yeah, one of the things I saw, I looked at immediately when I saw Don's board pop up was just the access to some really interesting and a little bit difficult to get to double plays in his early board. I think he managed to hit every one of them, which, sometimes the pills don't show up for you, but also Don is just really good at finding ways to make those combos happen. So far he's taking just the slightest of leads, but it's very, very early here.
And if you take a look at that board is about 85, 90% yellow at this point. So color management going to be a big key here. Dmwit pulling off a massive combo. He had been holding on to that for, I believe, since the start of the level. He's down to 6 here. Has taken a slight virus lead. As we see Ook, a pretty open board for Dmwit. Just that blue in row 2. He's going to have to clear something out to get to. But Dawn here has a very, very rough going in that lower right corner.
Yeah, although this double blue here is going to be really helpful for him now. He's just waiting on something with the yellow. He's going to get that, and looks like the fortune that Don's getting is helpful. These two are going to be out about the same time. Don out at a 133, Dmwit out at 136.
So neck and neck, these two players about, you'd say, 1.5 virus clears between each other. If you're interested in checking out stats, including clear rate, you can visit our website, monthly.drmc.gg. We'd love to have you there, and you can see stats from all of our players. But as it stands right now, Dawn trying to get through this just a blockade of viruses. He has bolted through. Dmwit's got a very heavy left side.
Yeah, that's it's not going to be a terrible thing for him because he currently, not for long with these double yellows coming through, I was going to say he currently has access to all of his colors, but yeah, now that blockade happening on that left side is going to be a bit of an issue. Just he's finding the doubles, and that's going to be a real key to solving it. But overall, Dmwit's it's going to be a tough board for him to get through. Meanwhile, we're looking at Dawn's side. He's just got a couple more to take care of, and I love this double setup at the bottom. Nice clear for that.
And as it stands here, Dawn out at a 251, and Dmwit again going to be out here just behind at a 255. These players just playing exceptionally well, right around the same pace. You couldn't ask for a better run if you're both these players, as we see a little bit of a smart garbage drop there by Dawn to open 8.
Yeah, as on keeping a hold of that just a couple of virus lead, but Dmwit is roaring back. He's got his board quite a bit lower. Partially that's because most of his pills or his viruses are up a little bit, or I should say are down lower on his board. But as well as that, he's just really making good efficient clear and taking stuff down.
Meanwhile, here on Dawn's side, bit of a blockade and not getting the yellow help to get through it. So Dawn having to be creative here to get some pills to fall, and gets a nice little opening there on that left side. So really just has to hope for a yellow rush here to start addressing that pillar on that right side.
And that bit of trouble that he ran into is just enough. Like we said, it's been very close this whole way, and that's just enough to give Dmwit a bit of a jump. He is now down to 3 viruses to Dawn's 7. It's going to be close continually, but there's Dmwit out at a little under 415.
And Dawn here is electing to go horizontal, potentially, or combo out and get access to that blue in the corner. It looks like he's going to try to stack everything up here, and he's just going to need 1 blue to get out. He'll be out at a 433.
He's he got a little bit of a dim look, or a grim look on his face, like he knows that cost him a little bit of time, but That's still good play for Dawn. And as we get into this last level, that's just going to be a race. It's
And
again not that different.
when it comes to playing, at a speed pace, sometimes you just get locked into a sequence and are just constantly clearing things. And sometimes that means you miss things on the other side of the board. I think that's what kind of happened there as we see Dawn really starting to clear out now. There's a nice triple opportunity to be taken. Looks like he might start to set up for it here on that left side. Meanwhile, Dmwit, 12 viruses to go. Only one blue left on his board, so he's going to have to be creative to get some of these viruses off the board because you really don't want to be left with two colors.
Yeah, Dawn's color availability is going to be a positive for him. He is going to have to figure out a way, and looks like he's going to end up.
Oh,
Oh, wow! I don't
a
think that was
nice
his
little.
original intent, but it sure worked out.
He's definitely setting up for that horizontal to drop the blues down, also to open up that red. But meanwhile, he's just trying to take care of that right side while he can. And we're going to see this big combo fire off here. And this is a good board here for Dawn, but Dim went down to his final virus. It's going to be who gets the RNG right first. And a double red would have been huge there for Dawn. Who's going to get this? This is really close. It's going to be
Dawn at a
Dawn at a
six.
612 and Dimwit at a
Oh,
613. A
wow!
1 second victory for Dawnvenure. We are going to just quickly verify that as it is a narrow margin. So please stand by.
Absolutely. While JB's checking that, I'll say it looked like those two were clearly in that time dot, but man, oh man, these two just that was very back and forth at level 9, and I gotta say that was something else to see. So
And we can confirm. Sorry to interrupt. The
no, go ahead.
613. It ticked over to 613 while that red was just a few rows above. So that time is correct. So a 612 to 613 victory. Dawn takes game number one.
Good times for both players, and we're gonna wait for readies from both of them.
If I'm looking here, that's actually, or no, that isn't a PB for Dawn. Dawn's PB 547.
These two, like we said, we expected to see a good match, and they've already started delivering. So this is going to be great. Can't wait to see what game two brings us.
And it's going to be Dimwit on high speed, Dawnvenure on medium speed, looking to go for Fever.
And Dimwit keeping it on off, what we expected.
Team off over here as well. And we are off here in the second game. Dawn looking to put this away. Dimwit's looking to stay alive. And we're going to see a double option here. Or
Dimwit
rather, a
doesn't have
drop cross. Excuse me.
Dimwit does not have a lot of options for red at the beginning of this board. He has found ways to use them, but that's gonna continue to be a little bit of a pain point for him. Although, like I said, he's found ways, and that's just a hallmark of Dimwit's play.
And we're seeing that from Dawn as well. Dawn with just a huge swath of yellow and blue along the top line, and the only two remaining reds deep into that right corner. So Dawn getting creative here, just trying to make combos to keep the board open a little bit at a time, and it's really just trying to save blue for that right side and seeing what he can do over here on the right.
As we're looking at Dimwit's side, he had a really nice uh, drop horizontal on his on the blue at the bottom of his board earlier.
Oh, when we have a misplay by Dawn uh, over in column 3, got that blue red the wrong way.
Yeah, that's really going to cost him. And as tight as these players are, who knows, that might end up being the match right there. Just one missed flip, but we hope not for his sake. As Dimwit's out at just a touch over a minute 30, Dawn out at a 141.
These two still pretty fairly close, and Dawn and Dimwit both with open boards here. Just a huge gap in columns 5, 6 for Dimwit. Column 6 wide open as well for Dawn, and you see Dawn making that horizontal play, trying to open up some red and yellow viruses, and a double clear here will really open this board up.
Yeah, one of the things that you see a lot of whenever you've got a board that's this just full of gaps is you'll get players who will find ways to move their pills horizontally quite a distance. We saw that from Dimwit earlier, and it's they're technically tuck plays, but man, oh man, it doesn't even feel like one just based on how far those are going to go. And I think we've got another misdrop there from Dawn.
It does look like it. Looks like that red is tucked in uncomfortably. He can definitely work around it, and he has other plays that he can work on. But you see, he's really clogged up that right corner. But he is down to 6 viruses. Meanwhile, Dimwit at under 3 minutes here, going into 8. That's an excellent pace and a huge combo to start too.
Yeah, Dimwit's finding his stride, and that's a dangerous thing for anybody who's playing him. I know that one from experience. So it's gonna be a little tougher now with a couple of misdrops under his belt for Dawn to take him down, but we've seen stranger things happen.
And
As
Dawn out
Dawn,
at a 320, but the so a run like that or a tough level like that really takes the wind out of your sails. And you just feel like you're playing behind the entire time, and you put just so much more pressure on yourself.
yeah, and that's just kind of typical for a lot of our players to notice that they're down just a little bit, especially if they're playing another elite player, which seems to be the entire bracket these days. To just go, oh my goodness, what am I going to do now? So the ability to cope with that has really been a difference maker.
There has here, as we're going to see Dawn try to get creative here, opening up the board a little bit. But Dimwit out at a 410. So playing at a sub 6 pace as it stands right now. See how this 9 goes for Dimwit.
He's having a hot time, and I think he might just find it.
.33 to go for Dimwit. It's a good looking board here for Dawn, just needing some pieces to fall his way. You're probably going to be looking to clear out those reds horizontally.
Yeah,
It's really going to depend on this next sequence.
And he does decide to just pass on that. I think that's a good idea. He is setting up for the blues. He's going to get the pills that he needs to set up the blues horizontally instead. Really nice pill set out at a 456. That's still a really solid time out of 8. It's just that Dimwit is blazing through right now.
And another big misdrop there for Dawn on that left side, misflipping the red blue piece. So more than likely, barring a disaster on Dimwit's end, this one likely going to go to a third game. Those misflips just always feel like they cascade when you're in a competitive speed situation.
Yeah, but you know what? If I'm Dawn, I'm grateful that this is the game that I'm having them. When my opponent is just having a lights out game, that's when you want to be making your misflips.
You see good combos here,
I don't
and
wonder. I think
that
okay, he
really
didn't
is a
get it.
side benefit. That really is a side benefit of making those misflips. Is you do find creative combos to try to get those misflips worked out while trying to simultaneously clear the board. As Dimwit out at a sub 6, a 553. Congratulations to Dimwit. We are forcing a game 3 here as Dawn finishing up level number 9.
Really good play from both of our players through this one, and yeah, like you said, it's causing creativity, but Don's just got to put this one behind him the way that Dimwit had to put that really tight first game behind him, and we're gonna see a great decider here, and yeah, this is I keep saying it, but I'm just excited. I'm excited to see what these two are gonna give us next.
And Laura letting us know that is the 11th best time for Ezra. If it sits as a tie, ties his time from February. So well done to Dimwit.
I thought for a second there he was actually gonna get a fat log out of the out of that level 9 and just give everybody a show, but opted to make a little bit more sense on his game as these two get started here on game 3.
And Dawn gonna get an easy one pill triple. You love seeing those nice horizontal plays to open things up. And Dawn now setting up here, really well placed plays so far. That spire right in the middle, though, looks like he's starting to address that as well. Really keeping the color balance there too, which is really important because you're gonna imbalance something towards the end of your run. So you really want to make sure you have plays for each color.
Absolutely, these guys well versed in that. Dimwit often practicing just making different plays for the specific colors as he gets a nice cross there. That's nice looking. Everything about this is nice looking as Dimwit's going to have a combo to get himself out, and he's already got pieces in place for everything that he's got left.
And Dawn trying to manage what's really just a red heavy pill disbursement from the doctor here. Dimwit out at 1:09. That's an amazing time. But Dawn's not going to be far behind here, just needing one more yellow. He's going to be out at a 1:18. So really close pace here between our players here in this decider.
Yeah, when I'm playing, I'm always aiming for a sub-minute 30, and both of these guys just showing why they're at much higher seeds than I am.
And these levels really show the strategy of one of the more sprintier formats of speedrun.com, which is the 0 to 10 run. These are the critical levels here, uh, really where you start to have to shift your basis towards clearing combos and maintaining elevation, whereas you don't see too much of that in the earlier levels.
Yeah, that's this is definitely where all of the puzzling of this puzzle game start to shine. Dimwit is making some interesting plays. I'm not sure how many of them I'm agreeing with. He's finding his way through, but it seems like he wasn't making the most efficient plays there in the middle of that 7. It's going to work out for him, but if the game turns out closer, I got to wonder how much time he left on that one. He's out at a 2:38 though. It's still a really good time.
A very good time here, and Dawn has that double set up and really bails himself out from what was starting to become a troublesome end game. Out at a 2:52. It is only a 5 virus deficit for Dawn to make up, and very yellow friendly left side of Dawn's board.
Oh, and here come the doubles. Oh, yep, here come the doubles. So this could really do something to get Don back into this game.
Dawn, though, getting that ketchup and mustard pill and just nowhere to place half of them. But he's trying to start setups on the bottom of that board. I think we saw a
Oh,
bit of a misflip there, a little bit
yep.
of a panic misflip, and I think Dawn knows it. But he's still maintaining a pretty good pace here. It's 23-20, so he's made a lot of progress. It's just that RNG's got to start turning things around here.
Meanwhile, on Dimwit's side, not getting the greatest RNG on there over there either. He's making the best of it as you do, but it just hasn't been the friendliest board for him. Do like what he's working on here though, and maybe he's going to be able to get these reds in the middle of his board horizontally. I think that's going to be the plan play, but we're just going to have to wait and see what he decides to do with it.
And you see Dimwit just using garbage to set up the next steps of clear here, as it is 14-6. But Dawn's about to fire off here, and Dawn's going to go down to 9. It's really a bit messier of an end game here. It may be Dimwit's game. We'll see how this RNG cooperates. Dimwit looking for that last red to drop horizontally, and he's just looking for a blue and a red. He's going to clear underneath, and now just looking for that last red, and he will be out at a 436. So one level to go here.
Yeah, looking over it at Don's side, that end game is not pretty. It's going to take him a little bit of time to clear out.
Yeah, he's going to have to force a combo drop or really hope for a double blue here. That clears huge, and he's going to get the double blue. So huge luck there for Dawn. Dawn out at 459. It's a 9 virus deficit, and both these players have a real couple real good clear sprint opportunities as they proceed here through this final level.
Yeah, these boards are looking very nice for exactly what they want them to do, and that's just provide a lot of doubles, provide opportunity to chain together different viruses. If you watch, JB mentioned you mentioned all the speed running, the speedrun.com. If you watch the top players on speedrun, one of the things you'll notice is they very rarely just clear a single virus by itself. It's a lot of combos, and these guys know that that's what it takes to really send this game, to have this game running as fast as possible.
Yeah, anytime you can clear a virus, multiple viruses with one pill is the most efficient, but you're always looking to find ways to clear more than one. Those single clears are really just as a last resort or to open up other strategies.
And look at this, we're gonna get a triple out of Dawn. But I think, yeah, as long as Dimwit gets his yellows, it may be too late. Assuming the doctor gives him the pieces that he needs. Whenever it's a single color, that's always a big assumption, but looks like that is happening, and it's just a matter of when for Dimwit.
I'm looking to make this competitive, though. He's down to 3. He's just a couple away from each one, but he is going to fall just short. But definitely had a strong end game there made to make this competitive. But it's 6:36, which is a great time on its own, but just a bit short here. But a classic match here from these two, as Dimwit will advance to the second round, and he will face Packy.